But I want to get right into it because my good friend Matthew Moore, the CEO of InnerScope Hearing Technologies, is joining us via Skype from Northern California. I call it Northern California, Matt. Should I call it anything north of San Diego to us is Northern California, my friend. So
pretty much.
There you go. Nice to see you today. First of all, you're the CEO and president for InnerScope Hearing. You manufacture and distribute patented hearing technology to the 48 million hearing impaired in this country. The problem is that 48 million people are hearing impaired, Matt, but as you said the last few times on the air with us, not everyone knows that they're hearing impaired because they're either undiagnosed or not doing anything about it, correct?
Correct. Actually, there is roughly 40 million Americans suffering from hearing loss that is currently not getting treatment right now. And then on top of that, there is over 10,000 people a day turning 65. So this is just getting worse. So
that's the thing I want to talk about today a little bit because we're going to keep you for a couple of segments here. But you guys are giving direct access to consumers to purchase the same type of high hearing technology that costs thousands elsewhere. As a business, you're doing that. But the other side of the things is you're making people aware of this. You're sort of out there waving the banner for this malady. Talk about those numbers again, because you're talking about a $5 billion industry with only 2 million people purchasing every year.
Correct. And that's the biggest problem. You know, devices are expensive traditionally through the brick and mortar audiological distribution model. And you know, hearing devices go from $1,000 to $6,000 per ear. I mean, that is just an insane amount of money for a device. So what InnerScope does is provides affordable and accessible hearing devices to the masses through our direct-to-consumer platform, through our teleaudiology delivery process.
So Matt, I'm gonna break all this down for the audience here in just a second, because if you think in terms about this, untreated hearing loss is becoming an epidemic. Our friends at InnerScope Hearing are going to tell you all about that. Matthew Moore, CEO. Co-founder. I'm going to call you a co-founder after 3 generations. You can go to INND.com because that's their stock symbol. They're also publicly traded. INND is their stock symbol. As the website says, unparalleled experience, disruptive innovation. It's the Big Biz Show, bigbizshow.com. More on Matt coming up in a second. Stand by. Great to have you today. There's currently only 8 million people in the United States that wear hearing aids, but 40 million have been denied the opportunity because of the high cost and accessibility. Our good friend Matthew Moore. Matthew Moore is the CEO of InnerScope Hearing Technologies, stock symbol INND, their website INND.com, and they are providing exactly what is missing. And if you look about on their website talking about the global health crisis, Matt's here to talk about that. Matt, so talk about untreated hearing loss, because as much of a businessman as you are that are opening up hearing centers across the country, you're also basically a designated or undesignated national spokesperson. We've designated you, so talk about it because you're leading the way in R&D as well as getting the word out.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, hearing aids are considered elective, just like plastic surgery. But unlike those cosmetic procedures, life without hearing can be very devastating effects. It can leave people feeling isolated, depressed. It's connected to depression, dementia, Alzheimer's, hospitalization, even increase of death. So that's the reason why is that we need to get the word out there about the awareness of the effects of untreated hearing loss.
Hey, Matthew, talk about the other side of this on the business side, because you guys are leading the way in R&D and development with a number of things. I'm going to talk about tinnitus in just one second, but you're one of the first companies to disrupt the hearing aid industry by lowering the cost. Talk about how you're doing that.
Yeah, basically it's quite simple, is that we've connected with manufacturers, vendors, suppliers across this world to actually provide hearing devices at manufacturer direct pricing. That's what our business model is all about. In this past 10 years, wholesale pricing from the big 6 manufacturers have gone up about 50%, while the retail prices have stayed about the same. So that's the problem, is this industry is just being squeezed by the big manufacturers. So we're offering manufacturer direct pricing with the latest technology and the latest advancements, so that way we can offer devices to the public at a very affordable pricing.
Matthew, talk about tinnitus, because you guys have proprietary technology that is I think you mentioned one of the first treatments for tinnitus, and for the rest of us that's ringing in the ears, which affects I don't know, 1 in 3 Americans or something like that. Talk about that, Matthew.
Yeah, it's great news. We've actually we've done a pilot study on this program before. It's a cold low level laser technology that we actually do a quick treatment, and over a course of 12 weeks we can actually have a treatment. It's not a cure, but it's actually the first FDA cleared treatment for tinnitus. So we're actually in the process of our FDA clinical trial. Should be cleared, ready to go by to the market within the next probably about summertime. And again, this would be the first treatment for tinnitus. And in fact, the veterans in this country are the most affected. Over 1 million veterans in this country actually are affected by tinnitus.
Hey, Matthew, before I let you get out here today, talk about the hearing. You just opened up several hearing centers. If you look at the press releases, by the way, they're stock symbol INND, and you can go to INND.com. Talk about the hearing centers that you're opening up and what you're doing there.
Yeah, we're opening up state-of-the-art locations, starting in California. We're opening up about 2 to 3 locations a month. We just had a grand opening of our latest location in Sacramento, California. We're going to be focusing on the Bay Area, San Francisco, and then we're going to be going all the way down to LA and again, we're going to be opening about 20 to 25 locations this year and adding on about 2 to 3 locations a month for the next 4 or 5 years.
Beautiful. Matthew Moore, CEO, one of the founders, third generation, by the way, of InnerScope Hearing Technology, stock symbol INND, and of course, INND.com is their website. Thank you, Matthew. We'll see you next week.